2 Works For You Sports, sponsored by your Oklahoma Ford dealers.
Well, the biggest game in the Big 12 and arguably the country today. OSU up 4 spots to number 6 this week without doing anything for the past 2 weeks, taking on number 17 Iowa State. It's been 5 years to the day since the homecoming parade crash that killed 4 and injured dozens more. That was on the forefront of everyone's mind today. And on the field, this just had the buzz of a big game. Mike Gundy going for win number 133. Spencer Sanders getting the start, finding his familiar guys early and often. Nice completion to Tylon Wallace. He leads the Big 12 in yards per game. And the very next play, Sanders, Woods, touchdown. Beautiful strike. To the second, Chuba Hubbard doing Chuba Hubbard things. Dude's got vision, patience, strength, all on display in this 32-yard powerhouse run. OSU up 14-7. Just look at the way he stays up, finds the opening. Just magical stuff from this kid. Third quarter, Purdy, we know what he can do to OSU. Looking deep, but a Purdy interception by Colby Harvell-P. Wow, simply wow. 5 plays later, though, Spencer Sanders holds on to it too long, stares down his man, and gives it right back to Iowa State. His second interception of the day, that led to a long Cyclone touchdown, but Sanders on the very next drive, getting it done with his feet. OSU back on top. The Cowboys did not look back from there. OSU takes its biggest game of the season thus far, 24-21. Costly mistakes for Iowa State today. The turnover, 2 missed field goals could have literally changed this game. Sanders finishes his return with 235 yards and a touchdown. Chuba goes for 140 rush yards and a touchdown as well. Now, you got some much-needed rest last weekend after that huge Texas game, but today it was time to prove whether this train is truly back on the rails. The Sooners on the road taking on TCU, and this offense, it just keeps taking that next step. OU, hype before the kickoff. Spencer Rattler said this week he loves playing on the road and he wanted to start fast. Well, TJ Pledger must have taken that to heart. 13-yard rush on the first play of the game and caps the drive with a physical 12-yard score. Pledger ended with 122 yards on the day. Fantastic job for him. The defense shining bright at moments in this one. Jordan Kelly, the Union grad, reads the double reverse perfectly for the 8-yard loss. Made the most of his playing time. And speaking of shining, Spencer Rattler, let it fly, kid. 50 yards to a wide open Marvin Mims. Get used to this connection in this game and for years to come. Third quarter, guess who? Spencer Rattler, all the time in the world, drops a dime to Marvin Mims. Mims, 4 receptions, 132 yards, those 2 scores. A total win on offense and defense. OU doubles up TCU 33-14.
Offensively, guys made some explosive plays. Thought we did some really good things up front. Had, kind of a mixed bag opportunities with the skill guys. There were several that we made, a few that we didn't make, and still took a few too many negative yardage plays. So gotta continue to grow, but we're getting better as a team.
Into the hands of Mims, and Mims into the end zone.
We had a lot of deep ball plays dialed up in the playbook, before this game, just going through this week of practice. That was a weak part of their defense that we could attack. And we did that pretty well this game.
Run into it and taken down again.
We continue to talk about, we haven't played our best football game, but that's an opinion thing. That is based on what we think we can be. And ultimately what you produce, each Saturday is ultimately what you are.
How we don't have Ronnie Perkins and Jalen Redmond, and the way that we stepped up is really, it speaks highly on Coach Tibbs and Coach Kane. Speaks volumes about them. We play at a fast, intense level, and we were very productive these last few weeks. And I think that speaks volumes to our coaches, our D-line coaches, with how we handled adversity this year.
Well, that TU defense just keeps proving it's one of the best in the country. A statement 1-star made in last night's big win coming up next. TU, another statement win against USF Friday night, dismantling the Bulls 42-13. This defense is just plain impressive. Top 20 in the country in first and third down defense, led by this guy, a nationwide top 5 linebacker, Zaven Collins. Where do you start with this kid? 5 solo tackles, a forced fumble, and this 38-yard pick 6. Just another impressive stat line, another game for this dude. Head coach Phil Montgomery breaks down this gem of a play.
They were trying to run a little jab return play over on the boundary side, and we were in good protection right there, and the ball kind of gets batted around a little bit, and he picks it off. fumbled it around a little bit, then secured it. But then once you see him secure it, because that's what your focus is, then he starts to back down the left side, and everything was sealed up inside, and you saw nothing but green grass in front of him. You know, Zaven just reverted back to his old high school days, and you knew he was going to get it in.
That's your Oklahoma Ford Sports Report. I'll send it back to Vincent for some late-breaking news.